Hello everybody and welcome to Cardiff for the final round of the 2022 TikTok Women's Six Nations. It's been a groundbreaking 6 weeks for women's rugby in the Northern Hemisphere, but perhaps those shifting sands have been felt most keenly by Wales and Italy, who have both welcomed in the professional era with this year's championship. Wales reached that milestone first, of course, and have had a terrific tournament. Italy announced a raft of semi-professional contracts just 2 weeks ago, and they saw an immediate impact from that news, beating Scotland last weekend in Parma. So we're nicely set up as round 5 begins. It's a midday kickoff here at the Arms Park. Then it is the decider, France against England down in the Basque Country on Bayonne. Here's how things lie this morning. Whilst it's winner takes all in Bayonne, but for Wales, they just have to secure a losing bonus point to finish third. They want to, of course, finish with a grandstand ending. The head-to-heads, they're rather interesting between Wales and Italy. Italy with one more victory across the years. In Wales, however, home hasn't always been an advantage. Italy have come here more often than not and come away with the victory. So Italy, the newest team to professionalise in the women's game, and they'll be hoping to end their campaign with a second win in a row. Hardly a breath of wind in the air in Cardiff this morning. Perfect conditions for running rugby at the Arms Park kickoff, just under 8 minutes away. The Arms Park bristling with expectation for this one. Italy run out first in the 5th and final encounter of this year's TikTok Women's Six Nations. Wales looking for their best results since 2009 when they won the Triple Crown with 4 victories from 5 matches. They won't match that achievement today, but it will be the best since then. It has at times been dark times for Welsh women's rugby over the past 13 years. But a woman who was at the very peak of Wales' achievements in this championship 13 seasons ago is alongside me. Rachel Taylor, it's great to have your company today. What would it mean for Wales women to finish with 3 victories and third in the table?
Yeah, firstly, thank you and welcome for everybody watching today. It's going to be It'll be a huge occasion for them to finish third, and either way they'll have done really well.
A chance for rugby to make clear its opposition to racism and against all forms of discrimination once again in this championship.
All in the world we live in, solidarity, integrity and respect are the core values of our game. Rugby is united against racism.
And days like this also feel a long way away from what we see every day in Ukraine, and a moment for everyone around the Arms Park to stand in solidarity for those also involved in that ongoing conflict.
The Welsh Rugby Union and the Italian Rugby Federation stand together in solidarity with Ukraine and its people. We strongly condemn the invasion, and our thoughts are with those affected by the crisis. Please can you show your support in the period of applause. Anthem time and let's start with the Italian national anthem. för halvlek.
Two of the very best national anthems in the business do battle. And now Wales and Italy go head-to-head. For Wales, third place is what they're after. For Italy, it is to secure fourth place in the championship. We'll take a look at the team sheets before kick-off. For Wales, there have been 8 changes made by Johan Cunningham. The headline in the forwards is that captain Shuan Lillicrap has been switched from number 8 to lock to allow the impressive Sioned Harries to go from number 8. There is space in the back row for the no-fear flanker Alex Callender in the open side. It's also an all-new front row. Donna Rose, Kelsey Jones and Cara Hope all lining up together. In the backs, there's a switch at halfback. Fionn Lewis and Robin Wilkins lining up together for the first time in the tournament. Karen Lake and Hannah Jones reprise their centre combination, and Niamh Terry is at fullback. For Italy, the mantra, don't change your winning team, prevails, or at least don't change your winning team much. Just the one change then for the starting 15 who beat Scotland. Sylvia Tonani gets a first start at loosehead prop since returning to action after a knee injury. Melissa Bertoni therefore returns to her customary position of hooker, having deputised brilliantly at loosehead against Scotland. The backs are familiar, as they have been for many years in this Italian backline. None more so than Sara Baratin, who is playing against Wales for a 15th time in her career. On the Welsh bench, Cleiki George starts potentially from the bench to make her first introduction to the championship, whilst the youngster Francesca Granzotto will make her debut if she enters the fray. Amber McLachlan of Australia taking charge of her second match in this year's TikTok Women's Six Nations. And she's assisted by Orly Grosilo and Maria Latos, whilst the TMO is Claire Hodner. Jazz Joyce lining up on the left wing for Wales. Lisa Neumann is on the right. And that centre pairing, Karen Lake just in shot, and Hannah Jones, all important to Wales's backline functioning. Robin Wilkins at 10 today. No Eleanor Snowsill in the 23.
3, 2, 1,
so much experience in the hands and in the boots of Robin Wilkins. Here we go. Wales with the advantage right from kickoff.
Hold here.
There is a beating down sun on the Arms Park turf, and it is into the eyes of the Italian players in this first half. Jasmine Joyce plays scrum half for Wilkins. Straight through the middle. Alicia Butchers is off, and she stretching her legs, handing off, still going. Blockbuster beginning from Alicia Butchers. Now can Wales go in from here, right from kickoff? Karen Lake carrying. Now goes Gwen Crabbe. Fionn Lewis and Harries starting at number 8. To many Welsh fans enjoying that sight, experience of Harries from the base. But Italy do ensure that they don't start with being a try down. What a run from Alicia Butcher's race.
Yeah, fantastic start there for Wales, and as you mentioned, straight off the kick-off as well. Been excited to see how this game starts. So much talk, hasn't there, in the week about the first 20 minutes being a real impact, and yeah, fantastic. Nice 7-8 phases there, just to give chance for Wales to have a bit of a settle time with the ball as well.
Wales haven't scored the first try in any of their first 4 matches in this championship. They've been chasing games, and they've done that superbly.
In blue, in and set.
Almost over the line in under 60 seconds. First line out from Italy, and it is to their most secure source of possession in Giordana Duca. And they'll play from inside their 22. Silvia Turani gets her hands on the ball. Featured from the bench last week in Parma against Scotland, but a starter here, as is Wales's new fullback Niamh Terry. Kayleigh Powell, who's had the jersey for most of this championship, is on the bench today. We were hearing, Rach, in the week how Terry has impressed in training, and with the selection, is there a sense also of trying out a few players in this last match of the campaign?
Yeah, I think that's been said in the week, hasn't it, by the coaching staff. Opportunity for people who've trained really well to get that starting jersey, and I think, you know, it gives them a chance. You know, World Cup year, lots of selection headaches to be had, and it's an opportunity for them today to go well and hopefully put their name in that squad.
Italy having exactly the same dynamics in training, with the professional contracts which have just been announced halfway through this championship. Talk about piling up your in-tray.
Where you're good, yeah.
Maybe 25 part-time contracts for Italian players.
Space, open up a bit.
And of course they're fighting for World Cup places as well later this year. Kelsey Jones, first line out of the day, and it's a good one, taken by Callender, and then this red machine sets off. Jones at the back, 2 tries that she scored in this championship. She's been so impactful from the bench. Italy doing all the defending in these opening exchanges. Wilkins. Now this is on to Jones. Now Terry is into the line. Neumann. Italy marshalling the Welsh well to begin with. Good hands on from Cara Hope. That was Callender arriving for the tip-on.
On the ground.
Alex Callender with that knock-on on the floor.
Just trying to release and regather, isn't she? We see that a lot from her in the Premiership games. You know, it's that sevens mentality of not dying with the ball as such. She's tackled, she's allowed to release that ball and then pick it up again and play again. But unfortunately, just a little knock-on the floor while she was trying to do that.
Crouch! It's all right, let's go both to the left to the
Italy's
mark.
scrum was put under a lot of pressure by Scotland in Parma last week. Whilst they were impressive in so many aspects, at times they were on toast by the Scots.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this battle today. I think, you know, it's fascinating to see. Obviously, we've got Hope and Rose in as well, so a few changes to try and sort of really get our height right in that scrum, and a great opportunity as well for Kelsey Jones to start.
Set!
So Jones, Hope and Rose put to the test by Italy's vastly experienced pack, and a little creak there perhaps with the Welsh going forward, but it's Italy ball off the back. Rigoni did well. Baratin goes back to Silari. And we'll come all the way back. Silari's kick not finding touch, but the Welsh offside.
Yeah, they're the little bits of discipline they'll want to iron out as this game continues. You know, they'll want to make Italy really work really hard to come out of that area of the pitch, and just little bits of ill discipline there, just a creeping offside. It just gives Rigoni now a chance to clear.
Time off. You're all good?
In many ways, it's the back row which Welsh fans would have wanted. Butchers, Callender and Harries, and yet still with Siwan Lillicrap in the team as well. It's a lot of go forward across the pack for Wales. Chance for Italy perhaps to get some go forward of themselves as Medea finds Rigoni, but so far behind the gain line. There is space, however. Cutting back goes Audomuzzo. Her 24th appearance for Italy, the right winger, and good hands again from Rigoni, picked up by Furlan, the captain, and she slips it on. Maria Margatti didn't have time to even perceive the try line. The referee's whistle blown straight away.
Yeah, nice though from Italy. As you mentioned, a lot of depth there, but they're just managing to find the outside. But yeah, just unfortunately, she tries to keep the ball alive, but it's just crept forward there.
Manuela Furlan in her 86th appearance for Italy today. Such a fantastic glider over a rugby pitch, and this type of service may suit her as well.
Come up a little bit, too big a gap here. Come up. Oof. Just a step forward for me.
A range of conditions compared with the last round for both these teams. Wales playing that Friday night game against France here at the Arms Park, and Italy playing in a downpour in northern Italy in that second half against Scotland.
Bind.
And this are exactly the conditions you want for the final rounds of the Six Nations Championship. Over 3,000 spectators in the stands today. And Butchers gets going again. Good pass from the blind side. Wilkins gives it to Hannah Jones. And Lisa Neumann shows her wheels. Excellent run from Lisa Neumann. Butchers goes to work again. She has topped the statistics pile in so many categories, Alicia Butchers, for Wales in this championship. Fionn Lewis gets Wales going again, and Karen Lake can't take that one.
Yeah, just unfortunate. What I loved about that is they had the advantage and they've tried to play it. They've, you know, rather than sort of accept the penalty or you know, don't use it, they've really tried to get wide on it and early as well. And you see Hannah Jones run and attack in that space, which is just makes defenders have to have a choice. And fantastic, you know, to see Jones there have a good run as well. So yeah, exciting. I'm glad that's their mentalities, particularly, you know, in the opening stages of this game.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Wales with the territory over the first 10 minutes, and now they have the ball. What a scrum from the 8. Sinead Harries now picks and goes. Fionn Lewis goes off on a caper by herself. So Butchers will play scrum half, and Gwen Crabb, one of 3 players in the team who's played every minute of this year's championship for Wales. Now over to Jones, and Jones will step and place the fend on Medea. Gets going again, Hannah Jones.
Advantage is over.
Lewis to Butchers.
Leave one.
That's the Italian 22 line. Wilkins goes to Terry. Good hands again, and now the captain, Lillicrap, and Neumann steps, and Neumann now fends. Lisa Neumann, 3 away. Go Wales, wonderful break from the right winger. Italy knock back the next wave. It'll be a penalty Wales, they are building.
Great to see that from Neumann, wasn't it? You know, we're so used to her cutting back inside because of her physicality. She likes to take that contact, but great to see her take an edge and getting some gains for it as well.
Time off. Real good, son. What was the last scrum one for Orly? Okay.
after the break from Neumann, Italy scrambled so well.
All good, Slim?
Wales's momentum stopped in its tracks.
Water off. Water.
Siwan Lillicrap. It takes a lot to stop her in her tracks. She's been Wales's second best carrier this Six Nations after Alicia Butchers.
Minus the mark, open up.
And from the second row, it's a little trickier to get your hands on the ball with all the other work that you've got to get through as well.
Let's go. Time is on.
It is the captain's job today from the second row.
Not straight.
Yeah, to be frustrated with that
Scrum
Wales
or
not
line
straight
out?
at the
Not
line
straight.
out.
Scrum.
But you're absolutely
Scrum
spot
ball.
on about Siwan Lillicrap. You know, she has gone into the second row today, but you can just see her in that carry earlier, just has the right time and those soft hands, just be able to give the pass at the right time. She's a really smart, clever rugby player. And, you know, yes, there's a shuffle in that back row, but
Keep our
they
bind,
need her on the
nice
pitch
and
today.
long. Bind, long.
Italy's number 8 today in shot, Elisa Giordano.
Bind.
And she'll be under pressure at this scrum if the last one is anything to go by.
Girls, I'm not going to reset all day. Stay in there. I'll call up if I'm unhappy. Let's keep our gap. You as well, both teams.
Seen a few scrums already, haven't we? And the referee there just letting the girls know what she wants to see in terms of pictures that they're painting for her to make a decision. But I think that Welsh front row might fancy to put the Italians under a lot of pressure here.
There is an experience gap to bear in mind here. The Welsh front row with 54 international caps of experience coming into today. The Italian front row with 165.
Stay bound 7.
And again, Wales meeting Italy head on. No nudge there, but still taken away by Giordano. Now taken on by Italy's back row. And that's touched in flight. Wilkins is there, puts it on to Neumann. There is numbers to her left, and Neumann engages the defence. Harries onto Calendar. Wilkins resets, and it's now along to Jazz Joyce. Ducks on the inside. Good step from Harries. Things happen around Sinead Harries when she's on a rugby field. Shown that across this championship. Shown that across her career. Wilkins has a quick line on the inside. It's Butchers again. Alicia Butchers is already at 100 in this contest. Jones. It's patient build up from Wales, waiting for their moment to be incisive. Lewis and Jones again. That door closes as quickly as it opened, and Giordano gets on the ball. Hope, another who's getting a chance in a starter's jersey after some good performances as a replacement. Jones, Kelsey Jones that time, the hooker. Calendar. Italy's defence
Not on the ball.
is so far very disciplined. Fionn Lewis tries herself in for Kira Bevan. Here goes Neumann again. We haven't seen all that much of Lisa Neumann across this championship. She's getting her hands on the ball in these first 15 minutes. Gwen Crabb. Phases racking up 16 in all for Wales, but it's Italy who muscle the penalty.
Fantastic Italian defence to weather that storm for 16 phases. And you know, I don't know if you can pick it up on the sound, but there's some massive collisions going out there. We're seeing double hits, there's competition over the ball, but good build-up phases from Wales, and great to see Neumann, like you've said, she's working in off a wing far more than we've probably seen in the entire campaign. So great to see her have her hands on the ball. We'd like to see Joyce doing it the same way as well.
Just keep an eye out for me.
It hasn't been the championship for Wales's backs so much. As well as they've played, it's been the forwards who have led the try count. 8 tries across the front 8, and just 3 behind the backs.
Yeah, it's been quite settled, hasn't it, as well, with, you know, I know Kaylee Powell's not starting today, but they just need go forward ball to really set them off. And today's conditions, you know, it's a beautiful day here in Cardiff, and as you've already mentioned, the surface, you know, it should suit them.
Knock on. Knock on.
And Rachel, what do you make of Italy seemingly willing to play from well within inside their own half? Hasn't worked out for them here, but if that's your strategy, what do you think they're planning?
Time off, play it.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, you're not sure on their kicking strategy at the moment, whether they don't want to kick to this back 3 in case they're fear of a counter-attack. But I think they're probably comfortable just having a little bit more time on the ball at the moment, just to settle things. You know, they are a team that quite like defence. You know, they're comfortable in that area of the game, but we'd like to see them obviously open up a little bit more today. But you just, whether it's sustainable for the length of the game, you know, you don't want to keep playing and having to work really hard in those areas. You want to save that maximal effort for when you're in the opposition 22. So interesting strategy. You know, they have got some very experienced players out there. Like you said, they're a team that have got such experience, but they managed to blood new players as well, which has been quite impressive over this campaign. But yeah, hopefully they're just going to be working out that Welsh defence, I think. And you know, I've always been quite impressed with this, the Italians' ability to change the way they play, and I think that's quite exciting today to see. You know, we might see a totally different strategy come out in the second half. So
Gerald Davis in the centre of our shot. In an elite club, Gerald Davis, having won 3 Grand Slams. Ian Evans in the centre of that shot as well, joined by Welsh rugby royalty at the Arms Park today.
Bind. Set.
Still no scores at the Arms Park after the first 15 minutes of play. Wales have been doing most of the running. And that scrum edges forward again, and they get the penalty off the back.
Yeah, I think that's 2 or 3 scrum penalties now, isn't it, where they've certainly got the edge on the Italian front row, and it gives them that opportunity again to get into the Italian 22. More likely than not, we'll probably see a catch drive, as we saw earlier. No, it's just a chance for them to settle, but yeah, well, great game for the rugby purists to watch this scrum.
Wait, we've got 2 balls.
It does feel like there's a game of fast-paced rugby dying to break out. But Italy's defence has been resolute. And Wales move this can of stones forward. Kelsey Jones, Lewis, Hannah Jones juggles, held up by Sillery and Veronica Madia. Hope, slip pass onto Harries. Robin Wilkins, Calendar again. One of the lightest players in this Welsh team, but doesn't she carry hard? Jazz Joyce. Characteristic shift of shape to try and get past her woman. Crab again to Butchers. And they are keeping an eye out for Alicia Butchers now, this Italian defence, no doubt about it.
Knock on by red, then by blue. Blue scrum.
Just a little bit of miscommunication there, I think, on who was going to receive that pass. But you know, we're seeing loads of opportunities for the forwards to tip on, aren't we? You know, it's just a little lift. It's forwards putting the ball through their hands, and it's exciting. You know, we're trying to move the point of contact for that Italian defence.
All those statistics confirming what we're seeing out on the pitch as well. Italy having to put their shoulder to the wheel in defence.
We're good, 3? Okay. Water off. Thank you. Water off.
Rachel, with a coach's hat on, Johan Cunningham. Will he be looking on fondly over the first opening exchanges?
Climb back on.
Yeah, I think they looked for that physicality, haven't they, in the first 20 minutes, and they've definitely done that. You know, you can see then when they're carrying, they're really carrying with intent to go forward, which is just having to bring in, you know, 2-3 Italian defenders to stop. So he will be pleased with that. He probably won't be pleased the fact they haven't managed to convert many opportunities, you know, potentially keep that ball in that drive for a little bit longer. Be super pleased with the scrum. And I think, you know, if you think about it as well, I think the Italians might be quite pleased with some of their defensive sets. You know, earlier to go 16 phases and not concede anything, and, you know, not even give a penalty away for post is a massive achievement as well.
They had a difficult beginning to today, Italy. Their plane arrived so late last night. It wasn't until 11 p.m. that they got into the hotel.
Hold.
And they know they're in a fight now.
Stop.
Clears her lines. Doesn't quite get the distance that she can from that left foot of hers. Very expansive fly half, Medea. Able to spread the play so quickly from Baratin via her.
Let's go, Red.
Really marks out her play. Keep an eye for those fast hands.
Hurry up.
And up there, Andrea Di Giandomenico on the left hand side of the shot. Italy's coach.
Stay 7, stay.
Baratin.
Thank you.
106th cap for Italy at scrum half today.
Rip was good, but it's gone forward.
She really is such an incredible character within the game. You know, I've had many battles against her myself, and she's just absolute machine for Italy over the years.
Lisa Giordano there, pinching one of Wales's lineouts. It's a real interesting matchup at lineout time, because in terms of set piece, both lineouts have functioned well in the last couple of outings. Certainly Wales given a good test by France last week, but across the championship it's been a good source of possession. So too for Italy, and Rigoni having to do a lot of one-out running, the talented inside centre.
Yes.
Baratin.
Okay, I'll play advantage. Got high contact.
Medea hits this downfield. It's gone beyond Niamh Terry.
I have a check. I'm going to check some foul play against Red.
And first
contact to the head. We're going to get the angles teed up for you now, Amber.
Thank you. Time off.
It's the tackle by 10
See what happened here,
red on the scrum cap for Italy.
Okay, thank you.
I think
Direct
it was
contact?
the time
Yes.
we might have put 2 in the tackle. I'm not sure if it was with Wilkins and
Shoulder.
Callender who was in the contact.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good look at it now.
Okay, yes.
Right, we're going to freeze it on point of contact.
Thank you.
absolutely didn't see that in real time, did we?
We do have direct contact with the shoulder to the head. We just need to judge.
We'll be coming real speed in a moment. Just bear with me. So that's real speed. One more angle.
Okay. So we do have head contact.
Yeah, direct contact to the
Correct.
head.
It is there. I feel the Welsh player is quite passive in the tackle and is beneath a bent.
And
Lower
there is
danger.
also another tackler from Wales.
There is another
yes,
tackler in the pack.
And the player is coming down into the tackle, and it's lower danger.
Lower danger. I'm assessing that as lower danger as well. So I'll be going yellow card against the 10 red. Direct contact, but low danger. She is bent there, so we'll go with the yellow card.
I agree, Amber.
Agree. Can you get me the mark for me as well? Is it just outside the...
About 5-6 metres outside the 22, almost in the middle of the park.
Thank you.
It's great to see, isn't it, the referee discussing there as a collective, with the TMO jumping in as well. And these are the things that need to be picked up in the game, aren't they? And it's great to see that at this level. Unfortunately, therefore,
we have direct contact to the head. We've got a low degree of danger.
Classed as passive, low degree of danger, but it is a contact shoulder to head, and that's where we have to clean up this game. And unfortunately for her, it'll be 10 minutes on the yellow card.
Wales' number 10, Robin Wilkins, off for 10. And it is possible to want to clear that, but also feel empathy for the player who's been caught up in it, because the reason why it's only a yellow card was because there wasn't that intent, and there was mitigation as well. She'd already dropped. Still too high.
Yeah, you know, it's obviously too high if you're making contact to the head, but a little bit of mitigating circumstances. Yeah, you know, you've got Callender just pushing in on that angle, so there's a little bit of room for manoeuvre, I suppose, for the referees to come to that conclusion.
Cameraman, open up for me. Open up and they can come in. Good go, count. Closing the gap. Yes. Release now. Out 8, back.
Italy and Baratin get going, and over halfway. Been precious few field positions like this in the first half for Italy, but maybe against 14. Manuela Furlan cuts the straightest of lines up from fullback. Madia, forward pass. Good pressure from Wales.
Time off. They will check.
So Lisa Neumann is down for Wales.
Last one was okay, right.
It was on from Sillery.
No high contact.
What pace brought onto it by Furlan. And Neumann just hits Niamh Terry, does she? So Sinead Harries is just being looked at to see whether there was a high tackle here. No question here, just an unfortunate collision between Neumann and Terry. This is the one under investigation. She refereed England versus Wales, Amber McLachlan, and showed a yellow card and a red card in that one, the red to Senina Upu. Called into action again. So the hit is on Ilaria.
Right, we're just getting another angle of that one for you, Amber.
The open side for Italy.
Yeah, what we've not seen on the cameras just yet is that Siwan Lillicrap has ran 40, 50 metres just to get a little bit closer to the referee, and Furlan's just spotted her and jogged alongside her, so both captains very keen to see the outcome of this decision.
Here we go.
That's the tackle, Amber. We're going to put it on point of contact.
That would be good, thank you. So have we got the initial point of contact on the neck area? Is that correct?
Shoulder and neck area.
Shoulder and neck area?
Yes.
Has it hit the shoulder first and then come up, or are we going direct to the collarbone neck?
It's a simultaneous, it's not direct, but it's high, and the ball carrier is dipping slightly.
It is, it's still that. I'm still going, there is still some danger in that one as well, and we're going yellow card for that as well. Are we agree with the facts there?
I agree with the facts, and I agree with your outcome.
Thank you. So we've got high contact again, Shirta there. It's in there, it's still simultaneous in there together, and there is some force there, but we're going low degree danger. It'll be a yellow card against your 8. It's still there, it's still high above the shoulder line into the neck.
Wales in for a test over the next 10 minutes.
Number 8.
Down to 13
High contact.
for the next 7 minutes or so. Sinead Harries yellow carded, following on from Robin Wilkinson's yellow card.
Yeah, again, you know, the officials are managing this game. You know, she's clearly set out her requirements around that tackle area, and Wales are going to have to adapt. You know, they can't afford to lose another player into the sin bin. It's time to start painting some pictures that the referee wants to see. They're going to have to drop their tackle height.
Gwem Crabb in the centre of Wales's lineup. No challenge, unsurprisingly, with no Sinead Harries around. Wales try and contain Italy, who are in Welsh 22 for the first time. Still, no score in the match. 15 against 13. And Wales have wrestled the ball back.
Taken in by blue.
Looks like it was Shuan Lillicrap in there, just doing some of the hard, darker arts graft around that catch drive and that maul defence, but fantastic there for the Welsh team to be able to they just need to weather this storm a little bit, don't they? They need to slow the ball down. They really don't have to concede at this moment of the game, but they'll be really frustrated as a group of Italian forwards, I think, there. You know, again, referees deemed it that they've brought their own maul down, but frustrating opportunity for them, because might even be the first time they've entered the Welsh 22, I think.
Bind.
Karen Lake is packing down on the blind side, the inside centre. Alicia Butchers at number 8, and it's a Welsh penalty.
Number 1,
Donna Rose
angle.
and her front row mates, Kelsey Jones and Cara Hope, got to take a pats on the back for that one.
Yeah, I think Tirani just deemed it coming in on an angle there, but there was a lot of strength. They obviously went for that one, but just unfortunately on the wrong side of the referee.
Count them in. We'll give you time to adjust. Let's go, Rick. Rick.
Those conversations just taking a little longer than they would otherwise, and that eats up a few seconds for Wales, but they'll have the ball stolen. Excellent timing on the jump from Giordano. Italy set up again. Lucia Guy at the back, and now Giordano has taken it on, and she gets ahead of steam up. Penalty coming for Italy. It is kickable, and Italy have the top goal kicker in the championship, in Michaela Sillery.
5-side entry.
But, unsurprisingly perhaps, with
Number
Wales
5.
being down to 13, they go for the corner.
Just a better platform there, wasn't it? A better build on that drive, and I think you're right, you know, they want to take the opportunity now while they've got numbers up.
Bettoni finds Duca, and this Italian maul peels in field. They reorganise. Baratin doesn't want anything to do with it yet. She asks her forwards to go again, and Italy looking for the first try. Wales, penalty. Obstruction as that maul bent round the corner.
You need to be behind. time off. You're right to go, you're happy to go kick to the line, and then we'll stop at the line out if you need. Time back.
Rachel, we may not have had the angle from our position up here, but what could you make out was the problem with Italy's maul there?
Yeah, it's always a little bit difficult once you've lost that initial go forward, just to get it started again. I think just looked as if the player's slightly in front of the other player, so basically causes like a little bit of an obstruction. Just trying to do it really to get another bit of momentum and to go forward again. And like you said, you know, the backs didn't want that one, so the forwards just tried to readjust it, but unfortunately just came a little bit unstuck.
Go, water off.
Well, I hope it's been an easier journey over for some of the Italian fans, easier than what the Italian team have had to do after their cancelled plane yesterday. They were due to fly from Venice to Cardiff direct and had to go to Heathrow.
I'll call time on when you're in.
It's a fair old bus journey down from southwest London.
Time's on.
Gwen Crabb, the Gloucester Hartpury player, rises the highest. Kelsey Jones in on the ball.
Taken down by Red.
Meets her opposite number, Bettoni. Karen Lake onto Jones. A test of Welsh resources more than anything. Butchers onto Donna Rose. The pace of this match just having dropped off. No doubt partly a deliberate move from Wales as they try and take every second out of the clock. Fionn Lewis goes long with the box kick, and Italy almost crossing their wires, and then Muzzo escapes right through the gap. Tackled by Terry. It was a good one. Forlan on from Madia. Silari has numbers away. Magatti. Italy springing to life against the 13 of Wales. Carried on by Duca. Baratin. Bettoni. Madia, the backs want it, and they'll stretch Wales here. Coming out of the line was Lake. This goes along to Giordano. Alisa Giordano escapes the first tackles, reaches out. So close. Baratin could sneak it from here. The scrum half, she gives it on to Magatti. Second run of this set from the left-sided winger. Baratin goes to the right. Italy numbers are there. And still, Wales survive. Heroic defence.
Was heroic defence, but for me, just Wales putting themselves under pressure from that Italian break. You know, wasn't sure who was going to clear that ball. Obviously, with the fly half in the sin bin, you know, Lewis goes to go for the box kick, but I think she had looked like Kelsey Jones and potentially Gwen Crabb outside her to do that kick chase. You know, it's a bit of a different decision to do it. Like, normally you want your winger on those at least to have a competition in the air, and unfortunately putting themselves under massive pressure.
Let's go 13.
Shoring Wales up defensively was one of Johan Cunningham's aims in his team selection, and that's why we see the likes of Alex Callender in the side, and also that centre pairing of Lake and Jones. Now being put to the test here. Beatrice Veronesi. On from Lucia Guy. Rigoni has seen space in behind. This is a foot race. Going back is Terry.
No blow, leave, you're off your feet.
Lewis. So those sin bin for Wales running down. Can Italy make these extra players pay before it's back to all square? Wales and Cara Hope securing the ball. The forwards will set again. Calendar. Jones is rock steady over the ball. And Butchers.
Leave!
And those Welsh fans on the far side do their bit to help out their team.
On now.
The ball will stay in. Can Italy launch an attack from deep? Forlan onto Muzzo. Again, and this is Veronese. The blindside flanker gets it onto Sara. Baratin dots it down. Italy finally make the breakthrough. And it's Sara Baratin. The 13 of Wales eventually unpicked. And it is the wily old head of their diminutive number 9.
Yeah, it all came from just that lack of ability to relieve the pressure from Wales. You know, 2 poor kicks there from Hannah Jones, not finding touch. Puts the Welsh defence under massive pressure, but I'm liking to see that the Italians' backline, and particularly the forwards, you know, we're seeing forwards out there, another flanker in that wide channel, trying to keep the ball alive. They don't want to almost take it to contact and create that ruck. They're looking to keep it off the shoulders, and they've, you know, again, like, what a great support line. You expect that from your scrum half, don't you?
Michaela Silari has 100% kick success in the Six Nations so far. And that is 6 from 6. And she will add to that at the Arms Park. It is all 7 for Italy. And as Welsh players come back from the sin bin, they come back to a 7-point deficit.
Yeah, the pressure was just coming on Wales, wasn't it? And looked a little bit rattled without that kicking option. We see Bevan do it so often, don't we, at scrum half position with those box kicks, and obviously no Snowsill on the bench today.
Robin Wilkins is back for Wales.
Easy.
And maybe Sinead Harries too, she is. So 15 on 15. But Italy with the lead.
Taken back. Winger is on. Stop. On
Madia.
now.
Down the neck of her opposite number, Wilkins. Back to Madia. The fly halves having an individual battle at the moment. Niamh Terry brought into the fray. Jazz Joyce goes to the right and then looks to go round Italy.
No, leave, lost.
Lillicrap to Harries.
Release.
Penalty coming as Italy illegally pinching on the floor.
Release.
So Wilkins and Harries back on the pitch, but this has stayed in.
You've got back up. The knock on by Blue. Red scrum.
And something goes the way of Wales for the first time in a little while.
Or forward pass. Look, I'm staying straight.
And Rachel, what's the important thing for your mindset when you're returning to the fray after having been off for a yellow card as an individual?
Yeah, you know, you don't want your team to concede, obviously, when you're off the pitch, but it's probably just coming back on and trying to rectify what, you know, your mistake really, and you know, put a big shift in until the close of this half now. I think for Wilkins, you know, she'll be looking at how she controls this game. Can she get them in the right areas of the park to give themselves a chance?
Excellent field position for Wales on the 5-metre line. 60 or so metres to play with to the right.
Both. Loose bind. Both keep bind. Elbows up. You work hard. Work hard to keep the elbows up.
As well as Wales started this contest, they're in a familiar position, behind on the scoreboard. I don't suppose they will mind that too much. Their 2 victories this season have come from behind. And how they have accelerated through the 80 minutes in those 2 wins against Ireland and Scotland, getting better and better.
Sorry, my bad, my bad. We weren't stable. Hold, hold.
But the dynamic of this match is very different to those contests.
I should have
almost had this lull in the middle of the match.
Holding, better on the
They've got to rev themselves back up again.
Let's go.
Yeah, so slightly brought on themselves on it with Wales. They try and slow the game down so much in order to get their yellow cards back on the pitch, but they're just going to have to increase the tempo again. You know, the Italian side is one of those teams that sometimes if you do cut loose, you know, they thrive on it as well, so it is a risk. You know, so far the set piece has been going really well for Wales, so expect them just to return to what they do and what they do well. You know, it's just get in the right areas of the park, rely on this strong scrum that they've had, and give themselves opportunities at that catch drive again.
Scrum is again solid from Wales. Better than that. Harry's with it at her feet. Lewis pops along the line to Joyce, who has acres of green turf to run into. Jazz Joyce, tracked well by Auda Muzzo. Fantastic contest between the wingers. Wales into the Italian 22. Wilkins to Harries.
No, no!
Italian hands trying to pilfer the ball. Wilkins, Lillicrap brushes away the first. Tackle was from Duca. Wilkins again, Lake, and Jones just overruns.
No advantage. Scrum, not pushing straight.
It will come all the way back for a scrum penalty.
Not pushing straight. You kicking to touch?
Yeah, a little bit. I'd like to have seen them have a go at that one. You know, you can see Neumann, who was just off camera here, acres of space by herself. You know, once you've got the advantage, it's an opportunity to have a go, isn't it? You know, great to see Jazz Joyce with ball in hand. That's looking like it's going to be a fantastic contest between those wingers today. But I think when you've got that advantage, it's just a chance to play, isn't it? Try and do something a little bit different, show a little bit of variety. Like to see if they have that cross-field kick option at some point.
Okay, thank you.
Fionn Lewis in the centre of that huddle there in the 9 jersey. Did you hear that story earlier in the Six Nations that there's a calf named after Fionn Lewis, born on the morning of the Wales-Scotland match and named after Wales' scrum half?
You have the front for me, Arlie?
All the calves on the farm have to be named with an F, and so Fionn Lewis got the nod.
Time back on.
And wish that calf all the very best a couple of weeks on. Fionn Lewis enjoying a start in the number 9 jersey today.
Not straight. Fair contest, not straight. Inside. Well, look at oh. Scrum or line out? Scrum.
Tries against England and Scotland in the Six Nations for Kelsey Jones.
You're on the line out.
It's the second not straight in the 22, isn't it? It's just
on the line and we'll go from there. How many?
Possibly that pressure around the throw more so than somewhere else on the pitch.
Here we go.
Shortened line out from Italy, looking to close out this first half in the lead. Barattini, the sole try scorer. Elisa Giordano. And Barattini asks her forward pack to earn some more yards.
Ball's there. We're outside.
Bertoni. Donna Rose almost drawing that back on the Welsh side. Mistake from Wales. But that'll be the half. So Italy will get to half-time with that lead. 7 points to 0 thanks to Sara Baratin. And it was against 13 women of Wales. Baratin and her Italian mates eventually getting the only score of the half. It's been a compelling one, if not the free-scoring first half that things look like might be breaking out at one point. At the Arms Park, Italy lead Wales 7-0.
People think that being a PT is about being really fit and in great shape. Yeah, I am those things, but yeah, there's more to it, you know, it's deeper than that.
I'm sexy. I could be management material, please.
Nah, I can't imagine it.
I just didn't realise that that was kind of where your head was at.
I'm having a rebranding. Say goodbye to the old Andy, all right? He's gone forever.
Peacock. Watch on BBC Three and iPlayer.
Well, he's happy. That's Paul Pacey's best.
That's fine. They're going to finish it here.
Just this wonderfully gifted boy having a great time.
Gaza was the golden boy on the way to becoming an outcast.
All they cared about was circulation. His phone was being listened to.
What happened? What did you regret? We build them up. They knock themselves down.
From football in heaven to personal hell. Gaza. Press red for all episodes on BBC iPlayer.
It's more than football.
She's going to be buzzing watching this.
It's the culture, the music, the passion.
Can we get that on camera?
And the biggest names in the Premier League.
Don't take it serious at the end of the day.
MOTDX on BBC Three and iPlayer.
Blockbuster beginning from Alicia.
So it's going to be a yellow card. Okay. Okay. All right. The mark's back up here. High contact. This is the mark. High contact. This is the mark. Maul. Number three, obstruction. Maul. Number three, obstruction. Maul. Number three, obstruction. Maul. Number three, obstruction. Wing is on, hold, stop, on now.
Wales having to do it again from behind. They've managed it against Ireland, they've managed it against Scotland, and if they are to end this Six Nations on a high, they'll have to do it against Italy. Sara Baratin's try, the only difference between the two teams at half-time. 40 minutes of this year's TikTok Women's Six Nations remaining, and Rachel Taylor, what have Wales got to do to end up on the right side of it from their perspective, and how can Italy provincially stop that?
Yeah, we've heard from the coaches, haven't we, talking around just being a bit more direct in that 22. They've really got to start converting, if you like, those opportunities they get inside there. You know, they don't come very often. It's time to take points, and I think it's going to be a fascinating 40 minutes to finish. You know, we've had a very tense first 40. You know, it's palpable in the stadium, and can't wait to see how it, you know, opens up in the next 5, 10, 15 minutes, because I think both teams will come out and go for this one.
Natalia John is on for Wales in this second half, and Italy get us underway. A much better beginning than how they begun the first. Silari claiming that out of the skies. And they can go to work, just as Wales did at the very beginning of the match. Baratin, Madia, Veronese, who made that break for the first try. Good claim here from Magatti. She tiptoes along the touchline, pops it back inside. Furlan is there. Tackle is from Callender. Rigoni heads it on to Arrighetti. Rigoni, Italy well spaced out in attack, but just knocking on in the tight quarters.
Yeah, nice little build-up that, wasn't it? And we're seeing that, you know, I mentioned it in the first half, that they're very good at, very intelligent rugby players. You know, they can see what the defence offers them and they can adapt it. You know, they've probably had a chat at half-time and straight away we see a crossfield kick. So those are the types of things that we'll expect to see from this Italian black line. You know, they're able to read it at right at that gain line. So
let's go.
They'll be frustrated to have given possession away, but they'll be confident, certainly, in that first start.
Perhaps a surprise that Natalia John's entry, well, no surprise there, but that it's for Siwan Lillicrap. That means the captaincy for Wales goes to Hannah Jones.
Bind. Set.
Johan Cunningham feeling that something had to change, and it's the captain who's made way.
Early push.
Centre of the field for Italy, but Michela Silari not wanting the posts. Baratin orders her forwards. Melissa Bettoni. Giordana Duca. Supports for Turani from Valeria Fedrighi, and Madia will put speed on things. So too Rigoni, she ducks to the inside of Wales's covered defence. Lucia Guy lines up, and she will keep running all day. Played the full 80 last weekend. I'm sure she'll be going a similar distance in this one. Indefatigable, the prop. Baratin, Madia. Back to Madia, and she's starting to open things up. Furlan collects this one. How close was Neumann? Fingertip stuff from the right winger. And here goes Turani. And there goes Bettoni, picking right through the middle. Baratin is there. Melissa Bettoni, but isolated. And Wales, through Alex Callender, will get a penalty.
Number 9, off feet.
Yeah, it looks like Bettoni just actually was injured a few phases before, taking a knee, just popped up at the right time there. A very clever player, again, just straight through the ruck. Unfortunately, just her support players just deemed to be coming off their feet, gave Callender a chance to do what she does so well and get over the ball.
She scored in both her last 2 matches, Bettoni, and she wasn't far away there.
Time off. Eye contact.
Those of you who watched Italy's match against Scotland last week, I'm sure will remember Silvia Turani having to put her contact lens in torrential rain. Now that was a lot, presumably harder than out there in the Arms Park today.
Okay, right. Have you right? Number 2, HIA. You. Our number 9. Okay, we'll keep an eye. HIA number 2.
I don't know if you can pick up on the referee's mic, but Turani just telling the referee perhaps the reason for the support players going off feet there. It did look like there was a little shove to the scrum half, but just the little conversations that you try and have with the referee, you know, just to build that relationship, see if you can get a few decisions going your way.
We're waiting for your substitution.
And no one better than that than Shuan Lillicrap. The way she talks to a referee, it's a, if you pick it up over the referee's mic, you can really hear the relationship she builds.
Come and set for
But
me.
not with Wales in this second half. Tactical move we're hearing.
I think it gives Wales more opportunities at line out, doesn't it? And a chance just to probably build that catch drive a little bit more consistently with the 2 second rows that are used to being with each other.
And that line out works with Butchers. In the meantime, Italy's Vittoria Vecchini has come on, replacement hooker. Kelsey Jones, the starting hooker. Fionn Lewis takes her time. That hasn't gone far at all. 5 metres at best, but Wales have claimed it.
It is a maul. Oh, leave. No. It is a maul directly from a kick. Red ball.
It's a great recovery from Lisa Neumann.
No, stop.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a theme really for Wales throughout this campaign, is just find it really difficult to exit the 22, whether that be the distance or the organisation that goes in place just before it. You know, we saw a box earlier with I think the hooker in the second row chasing the kick. You know, we're not seeing kicks that really relieve that pressure, and just there again, you know, we're not getting any distance on it, but thankfully Neumann, you know, she's such an athlete, she can get off the floor to catch it, and quite right from the referee, you know, she is held up, but because it's from a kick, it's Welsh ball, rather than if it was a maul tackle held up, it would have gone to Italy.
Bind. Set.
Italy's scrum has been under pressure from Wales across the match, and it is again.
That looked like an absolute massive scrum there from Wales. I think it appeared that some of the front row were clean off their feet, so real strength for Wales to go through, and that's what they'll look for to relieve that pressure. But again, the kick is 5-10 metres up the pitch.
I need her to stay down. Hold there.
Jones goes short this time to Butchers, and smart play, but isolated, and Italy get the penalty. Rach, you mentioned the first half how impressed you've been over the years with the way Italy think on their feet during a match and solve problems, and they're so far handling Wales from the start of the second half, and any tweaks that they've made have been managed.
Yeah, I think, you know, we saw it before. There was an interesting decision to go for line, wasn't it, rather than the post, as you mentioned. We'll have to wait and see if that becomes a crucial moment. And again, they're just a little overthrow, but in general, they've started this second half very well. It's just, it looks more like it's Wales that are just stuttering at the moment.
They might hit their stride here as Jones, the on-field captain, straightens up the attack. Lewis. Callender back to Wilkins and Gwen Crabb. Donna Rose had slightly overrun on the support line, but she recovers well. And there's numbers here for Wales if they can exploit it. Callender has Rigoni for attention. Butchers onto Harries. She spins and then sets her feet. Niamh Terry.
Stop, Six, stop!
Robin Wilkins.
On now.
And Folan. Little conjure and then goes in fields. Nice variation from the Italian captain at fullback. Turani, she's been busy in her return to starting duties. Silari, Rigoni. Baratin forces Jazz Joyce to chase and the ball goes out.
Just looking a bit of variety, aren't they? Just looking to turn that back three, but been impressed with some of their line speed today. They're really trying to put the Welsh attack under a lot of pressure. Wales are trying to get those little tips in.
Number 9. What's up?
So Karis Phillips now entering for Kelsey Jones. And Fian Lewis also takes her place in the stands as Kira Bevan comes on. Bevan, one of the players on a full-time professional contract with Wales. She is lightning quick off the base of a ruck or scrum. This is the type of match which may just suit her skill set. It is looking for something to ignite it. Gwen Crabb gets to her feet and as the chief source of line-out ball for Wales. It's a reassuring sight.
Deep in conversation there, aren't they, Phillips and Crabb? No doubt getting some messages that have come in from the sideline as well.
I'll call time back on. That's right. Who's in? I need you in and set up here. Come up. Time back on.
And Wales have got a hit every time they've shuffled their cards in a match. And the bench have brought so much freshness to Welsh performances this championship. And they'll need it again.
No, back.
Baratin to Valeria Fedrighi. Veronica Madia, Rigoni heads after this, and Rigoni claims it. Flies it out to Muzzo, who gets on the inside. Now Madia cuts back, and Terry is having to watch, and Butchers takes her to ground. Passed on, Duca hits the line. Lucia Guy can't clear out the Welsh Jacklers. Donna Rose and Callender again.
Yeah, she does so well, doesn't she? It's just all about the timing, gets in such a low body position, makes it so difficult for the supportive Italian players to clear her out. But some nice variety that we're seeing in the Italian attack now, you know, a little chip over the top, and again, they don't want to die with the ball. They're looking to get the offloads where they can. The support play's been outstanding today.
6. Line of the mark, you are inside.
She said this week that when she plays rugby, she feels as if she has no fear. It's not a bad quality to have for an open side flanker. And there she is, climbing the highest. And the Welsh maul,
going back, youth!
although set, knocked backwards by Italy. Now they get going a bit.
She's through the middle.
It's Jordana Duca who is making a menace of herself in the centre of the maul. Bevan goes herself, Kira Bevan. Giordano was watching her. Rose. Positive impacts off the bench with Bevan and then Karis Phillips involved.
Yeah, you're spot on with Bevan. It's the type of game that she'll enjoy. You know, she'll look for those little disconnects around that ruck chain defence. She'll look to put tempo into the game when she can. And like you said, she's got not only got a good boot, but she's got good speed on her as well. So one of those players that you just can't ignore her when she's around the ruck, you know, defensively, which obviously, if she doesn't then go, hopefully opens up another opportunity for somebody else.
Come in. In. Come on. Not straight. Scrum or line out? Line out? Line out call, same mark. Okay. Shoelace. We'll time off for your shoelace. So how many? 5. Time back on.
Possession conceded by Wales. So Italy, what can they do from a tap ball back? Baratin and Rigoni. And the new player on, Sara Tunesi. Straight into the thick of things. Here goes Guy. Carrying strongly Lucia Guy. Baratin into Butchers.
Stay up, 7.
Somehow works their way through.
Release. Thank you. Release, tackle.
Tunesi again, gets the slip pass on. Lovely work to Silvia Turani. Giordano is there. Madia. She's watched well. She can catch you colds, Veronica Madia. Not on that occasion. Magatti. Italy's wings really look for work wherever they are on the field. Giordano with that last carry. The number 8 getting through a lot of work. Tunesi taking up residence in centre field. Turani again. But again, defence ruling the day on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, the Welsh back row have been clever today, haven't they? Just picking the right opportunities, when to go in, when to get over the ball. And Wales looking to play quick here, which is a little bit of a change of game plan for them.
Cara Hope with the tip pass to Harries. Good zip on the pass from Bevan, and that's off the floor. And now Lake gets it over to Niamh Terry. Has seen precious ball in an attacking sense, Terry. Hope. Wilkins. Butchers to a back row partner calendar. Rigoni has timed her jumping out of the line so well in this match, but she gets caught short here, and Jazz Joyce is heading in field. Baratin just about slows down Jasmine Joyce.
No advantage, high tackle.
Well, she has on her CV one of the best ever non-tries scored in this fixture from 3 years ago. Perhaps you remember it. 2019 was the only draw between these two teams over the years, and Jazz Joyce, towards the end, scored an 80-metre wonder try. It was chalked off for a marginal forward pass. She can really set off from anywhere.
Substitution, number 1. Number 1.
A lot of cheers for Claykie George, who is going to come on at fly half for her 8th cap. Joining the fun of this championship, the Gloucester Hartpury player. And can she spark something in this Welsh backline? George. Wilkins now switching to inside centre. That's where she played against France a week ago. And George having to contend with blue shirts, tearing up in her vision.
Your foot into her, accidental, scrum, red ball.
We need a TMO to work out that one, Rach. It happened so quickly.
Yeah, it looked as if it was an accidental offside from the kick, but it just gives Wales possession from the scrum. And already we're seeing from Claykie there, from Claykie George, just an opportunity to try and put a little grubber through, so a little bit of change already. Obviously a clear tactical change from the coaches. You know, we haven't managed to convert any points yet, so it's great to see that they're trusting in their bench, getting them on nice and early, giving someone like Claykie George an opportunity to try and change this game.
Bind. Set.
Richard Whiffen, Wales' attack coach in the week, was saying that as good a kicker as Claykie George is, it's the distribution side of her game that what Wales want to see when she comes on. She goes straight to Hannah Jones, Lisa Neumann, and now Jazz Joyce has a bit of space to work with. Furlan had company, and that's what you need. And Jazz Joyce is herring up Harries. Harries goes again.
Lead, lead.
Bevan and George to Wilkins. Much deeper in attack now from Wales, and they've opened up this chance with Terry, and now Neumann. Rose is the first to arrive to clear. Now Phillips and George to the line. Butchers. Phillips again. George. Wilkins has to go back in field. Alex Callender is there again, in the nick of time to keep ball for Wales. Goodness me, Tunasi has knocked Butchers back.
Advantage, blue hands.
So Bevan playing with house money, but nothing doing.
Straight away, it looks like a different Wales, doesn't it? We've seen probably 3 or 4 different types of pass variation from Claykie George. One huge 15-metre miss pass, a little delayed pass there, sort of slowed the pass down to allow a runner to come onto the ball. So already looking more exciting. Bevan has the advantage, tries to do a bit of variety. It's just starting to tip into Wales's favour as the momentum of this game at the moment.
Scrum. Fight up. Keep our height up, both teams.
I think Tunasi is one of those people, when you see her on the substitutes bench, you're not really wanting to see her at that 60-minute mark during the game when you're a little bit more fatigued, and she comes on super fresh. She's already seen her have a little cheeky out the back door offload. Just such a physical athlete as well, just seeing her how strong she is in the tackle area there.
Bind. Set.
Centre field position for Wales. Bevan has George to her left. She goes to her fly half. Now Jones. Rigoni tackles. Callender on Tunasi for chapter number 2. That time, Callender escapes Tunasi. Bevan. George now engages the defence herself. But rips Vakini. Rigoni plays it downfield. Referee sees no problem with any forward pass, and Magatti is herring after this. Joyce, 2. Joyce is caught, and Rigoni takes her chance.
Release.
Still with Wales.
We're checking.
Jazz Joyce riding both those hits. Italian advantage after the knock-on. And Tunasi from defence mode into attack.
High tackle, penalty only. She's checked it, she's doing the penalty only. High tackle, number 12. Time is off.
Does look like she's gone in for a big hit, doesn't it, Ragoni? But just the same time as Joyce is just trying to do that sort of release and regather. We're so familiar seeing her doing that as well from the sevens.
Today's match attendance on this women's TikTok Six Nations match, 3,373.
Harry's down on the floor in her second start of the championship. 3,300 in the Arms Park today.
Water off.
So not quite at the heights we saw with the Scotland game, but over 3 matches, 3 strong attendance figures for the WRU to take home.
So let them get set, just let them fly the time back up.
So George gets the chance to clear
High tackle.
Wales's lines after that high tackle. Clean strike from George, and the angle didn't allow her to make many more meters of it. Certainly making an impact in her opening minutes on the pitch.
Open. Come up.
It's been a talking point in Wales throughout the championship. You know, would we get to see her? Would we see her on the pitch? And then, you know, obviously when the squad was released, to see her on the bench made a lot of fans very pleased in Wales, and they'll be particularly pleased to see her get a good chunk of game time as well.
More.
Phillips at the back. The Welsh maul treads steadily forward, despite Tunasi and co trying to get their hands on it. Wilkins, George, Jazz Joyce again, sets off, has Terry outside her. Terry straightens. George butchers
That's gone forward.
a little too close to the line.
Entry. On the 5. In here. Number 16.
Joyce probably just wants to prove a point after receiving that big hit, isn't she? She needs to get her hands on the ball early.
Tight angle from George, but she makes good with a kick to touch.
Subs. On the line. We'll give you time to set.
Cara Hope's 62 minutes have been filled with carries and pop passes close to the line.
Time back on.
She's had a good afternoon's work. The loose head prop. Over the top, but claimed by John. Now on to Keris Hale. Freshly into the action. Bevan. Phillips. Wilkins. Goes to Jones. Defending in the outside centre channel from Italy has been of the highest order. Wales have not found nearly as much space as they have against Scotland and Ireland in that area of the game. George. Little juggle from Hale, but she does well. Now Terry. Joyce. 4 Italian defenders. Phillips to George and Calendar. Once again, Wales building nicely, but Italy's defence absolutely rock solid.
Holding on.
Yeah, we've seen some great opportunities to get over on the ball, haven't we? Some really good best practice examples for people watching at home, just how to be brave and be bold and get over that ball and try and have a real clean opportunity at pulling the ball up. That's what referees like to see today, and it's been great to see that they've been rewarded for it as well.
That shock of blonde hair on top of Alex Calendar's head. We've seen it everywhere, in every type of part of the game that you could imagine.
Just winded.
Not a player who is on one of the central contracts with the WRU, but she's had a terrific Six Nations.
Water off.
Yeah, for me, she's everything you want your 7 to be. You know, like you said, fearless. She's so comfortable over the ball. She's great body height over there when she has a jackal, but also she's just so tenacious. You know, she does not stop. She's constantly in your ear. She's a nightmare to play against. She'll keep going for the full 80 as well.
On your front man. That's good, thank you.
Youngest in the 23 today, Calendar.
Girls, the gap is fine. Leave each other alone.
Batoni and Butchers rises to claim it, but Wales then fumble. Italy ball. Last 15 minutes knocking at the Arms Park. Still that solitary score from Baratin.
Hold, stop, stop.
And Madia has seen a bit of space. Quickly closed by Jazz Joyce. Shifts into the inside. Head of steam up from Carol Thomas. George. Taken by Silari, Michaela Silari. Italy jumping on another Wales mistake, and Duca now, Madia can't quite get the ball away. Jones does well not to give a penalty away. So too does Butchers. Silari, Tunesi, onto Elisa Giordano. Silari again. Carol Thomas getting to grips with Italy's outside centre. And winning a penalty from it.
Yeah, great counter-wrecking there from Keris Hale, but I think the Italians will be feeling a little bit frustrated. There was twice the Welsh players weren't rolling away from the tackle area there. You know, they'll need to make more of that if they want to get those penalties.
So Wales emptying the bench and bringing on Kayleigh Powell, who's another one who's impressed with ball in hand for Wales this Six Nations. She has just under 15 minutes to continue that. What a steal from Tunesi. Italy starting to pinch a little more ball on the ground. And Wales will have to sweep round to cover the other side of this ruck. And they have done that well, so Madia puts it on the boot. Here is Powell, fresh into the action.
Did look high that. I would expect the TMO to have a look at that one after the 2 earlier yellow cards.
She will be checking. Go.
Bevan wants to go. We'll have a look at the shot on Powell, Rachel, but that characteristic dummy which Kayleigh Powell has, and it works so many times, just pauses the defence.
Yeah, she's got one of those dummies that even if there was no one outside her, you sort of half fall for, even though you know that it's not an option. But yeah, she moves so well with ball in hand. She's such an elusive runner. You know, she's got all the skill set required really for that position. It just needs a little bit more time to develop her trade there for me.
And Rach, the difference there being that they didn't see contact between the shoulder and the head.
Yeah, I think it's just that movement, isn't it? As we've mentioned from Powell, just the ability to shift the defender's position. Just means she gets caught with a loose arm, but the big cheer in the stadium is for that kick. You know, we've had a penalty, we've got into such an attacking opportunity. That's something we've been missing in this Welsh team, you know, so instant impact from Flaky George again.
Bevan is waiting for the moment to take the ball forward in the scrum half. Has a dart. Italy wrestling with the ball. Butchers has lost it in contact. Lucia Guy comes away with it again. Italy finding a way to frustrate and steal the ball.
Yeah, those are the moments we spoke about in the first half, isn't it? A fantastic attacking opportunity, been put there just slightly off the 5-metre line, and unfortunately just losing the ball in contact, but again, a massive defensive effort from Italy.
Line. The line is the mark. Open up. You're inside. Inside.
Jordana Duca in the blue scrum hat with the white patch on her forehead. Line-out leader for Italy. Bertoni finds Duca, and Baratin and Furlan connect. Wales steal it this time.
Yeah, Charlotte Harry's over the ball there. She felt a bit hard done by, didn't she, in the earlier one that went against her, deemed from coming in off the side. Straight in on that one.
Time is off.
Butchers and Bevan down, but the attention for Kira Bevan, we believe.
It's not like we don't often see Alicia Butchers go down either. She's such a
I'll keep an eye on it for you.
Such a contender, you know. She always stays in the fight, so hopefully that's nothing too serious.
Okay, I'm playing on both ways. Okay. All good.
Alicia Butchers, second in the list, 4 metres made in this one, behind Jasmine Joyce. Manuela Furlan, she's made plenty herself from fullback.
You're going for the points. This is the mark here.
That's what happened to Bevan.
Point scored.
Got nicked on the side of the head. And Butchers is coming off.
There you go.
Looks like it's a HIA assessment.
Time is back on.
So Robin Wilkins lining this kick and goal. Both Wilkins and Kira Bevan will be the 2 kickers on the pitch at the moment, but this one gone to Wilkins. She's kicked 1 from 3 attempts in the championship so far. And a lot riding on this one. Wales leaving it as late as possible to get on the board, but Robin Wilkins does just that. Italy lead 7 points to 3, 10 to play at the Arms Park.
Smart decision, I think, for Wales to take the points there. We saw Italy turn an opportunity down earlier. Will that come back and be a mistake? They'll wish they'd have gone for points potentially. if Wales are given another opportunity to score.
Bethan Lewis is on. She claims from the restart. Can those points fire Wales to more? Bevan to George. Wilkins. Now Joyce, who's been so well watched in this encounter. And that time, Magatti bundling her into the blue.
Perfect, thank you. Get your girl set.
Talked about some best practice opportunities for people to watch at home over the ball earlier, but have to give a shout out to Ragoni. Some of her tackle selection choices have been incredible today. You know, her timing been absolutely immense.
Back up, Red.
Taken by John. Hale. Crab. Bevan. Now she goes, the scrum half, opening up Italy. Injection of pace from the substitute. On from Bethan Lewis, George, Wilkins, Kaylee Powell. Ball is there and Italy, stutter. That gives time for Bevan and the penalty will come off the back of it. The Arms Park beginning to murmur.
Reading some of the body language of the players at the moment. There's a lot of tired Italian defenders out there at the moment. Starting to feel this pressure building on them.
Against Ireland and against Scotland, we said that Wales left it late to turn those matches around. Not as late as this.
How many will it be, girls? Okay.
Keris Hale in the centre there. A regular starter in this championship, but her 39th cap from the bench today.
Quick call.
We are set for a tense finish in Cardiff to Wales and Italy's TikTok Six Nations campaign. Third position in the table is what Wales are after. But also a third win.
I think that one's been called not straight again, unfortunately, for Wales.
Leave her alone. I'll deal with her. Not straight. Scrum or line out. Scrum.
Karis Phillips has been pretty solid on line out across the championship. When you come on, Rach, and there's more moving parts going on, is that what this is about? Why the line out isn't quite clicking?
Yeah, obviously, you know, a lot of substitutions and movement can disrupt the line-out's timing, if you like, but it'd be interesting to watch some of them back. I don't know if that line-out's just closing the gap slightly, so it looks as if that throw's not straight. It's just, I think it's just the areas of the pitch, isn't it? It's almost exaggerated because it always seems to be in the opposition 22, which generally means we miss an opportunity to convert into points.
Wales's scrum sends Italy backwards at a rate of knots.
I think that front row felt hard done by, didn't they? Phillips in there straight away. Throws are not straight. Don't worry, I'll get it back on a scrum pen.
Keep starting straight. Straight.
Gwen Crabb wearing the emotions of everyone around her.
Set off each other.
And this is the most glorious thing about fans, everyone being able to come back to a sports stadium, having that interaction between what's going on the fields and a voice from the stands.
Set.
Can it inspire Wales forward again? Bevan has a scrum going forward to work from, and Wales go with Harries. Bethan Lewis. Callender picked up by Ciara Bevan. And she sets the Cardiff Arms Park alight. Wales leaving it late again. "75 frustrating minutes for Wales fans to endure, but the first try comes. Harries firstly, then Lewis. Callender with the important ruck. And Ciara Bevan signs it off. Robin Wilkins can't quite add the extras. 1 point, ball game. The two scrum halves have both tries in the contest. Baratin kicks off and finds Ciara Bevan. So Wales in front for the first time. Hale. Oh, terrific pick from the base, and timing that was from Bevan. Claykie George puts a big boot through the ball, but that started outside of the 22.
Yeah, just taken back in, unfortunately, so can't kick direct to touch, but gives Italy now an opportunity from a line out.
And we will have time to adjust. 6.
We've seen that a few times from Wales, haven't we? Just they score, but then the next couple of phases just look a little bit creaky, and it's a bit uncertain in what to do with it. They'll be incredibly frustrated if they allow the Italians in from here.
In the meantime, Alex Callender, player of the match. Tunesi and Rigoni go together. Baratin waits for it and gives it to Arrighetti. She's shot forward by Veronese. What do Italy have left in the tank? A drop goal from this position, potentially. Rigoni is just taking herself away from the action and barking the orders, the inside centre. Tunesi, advantage from in front of the posts. And Wales were offside. Goodness me.
What are you doing? Okay. Shot.
Michaela Sillery indicates for the post, and she hasn't missed yet in the Six Nations this year. And Rach, how crucial was that pass back into the 22, and meaning the kick went straight out?
Yeah, could ultimately cost Wales the game, couldn't it? And it, like I said, it just seems to be those moments after they score, just a little bit of uncertainty how they clear their ranks again.
It has been a tight one at the Arms Park today.
7, hands down.
And Michaela Sillery puts Italy on the right side of it again. 10-8. Italy lead Wales, and just seconds remaining. We will have the restart. So Wilkins needing to put this one up. Wales needing to claim it. Anything other, and Italy have the game. It's right on the money. Jazz Joyce reaches, but this will go out. And Italy, cautious eyes to the referee, but they have the victory at the death. For a long, long time in this match, it was the Italians that led the way. Wales had that chance to sneak it, but there was Michaela Sillery, dead-eyed from the tee. And it is Italy who have beaten Wales at the Arms Park, 10 points to 8. So it's Italy who end with consecutive victories, and Wales, who hoped to have those 3 victories in the bag. Rach, that losing bonus points, however, for Wales, is that something that will make them feel happy that they're going to have the 3rd position, whatever happens in the later matches today?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, whatever result ultimately today was a vast improvement on what we've seen recently, but I don't think we can be frustrated about that pass back in. You know, we've got to think we had lots of chances in the opposition 22, which we failed to convert. You know, we can't be leaving it till 70-something minutes before we decide to attack.
So they're going to go down pitch side now and hear from Alex Callender, the player of the match.
Year for you now, so moving and concentrating towards the World Cup.
Yeah, definitely. You know, this is stepping stones. This is the start. We want to build from that going into the World Cup, so this is a platform we need to build from.
Alex, diolch yn fawr iawn I ti.
Thank you, Laurie.
Diolch.
Thank you.
A loss of that nature, nothing should take away from how Wales have performed this Six Nations. Those 2 victories at the very beginning bode very, very well for the future. But it's ended at the Arms Park, 10 points to 8, and Italy with the victory.
I said, Dad, if it was Bill, I got tickets to that as well.